Welcome to Cornwall, where rugged landscapes are an artist's paradise and quaint coastal villages are picture perfect. I'm Caroline Quentin and I'm spending this summer meeting the people.
Great to meet you. What a fantastic spot. It's so beautiful here.
And discovering the places.
Oh, what a view. Oh, Pete. It's absolutely lovely.
That capture the true spirit of this treasured county.
So join me as I weave my way through the fabulous Cornish countryside on a trip you won't want to miss.
From the crashing waves of the north.
Therapeutic qualities of living with the water and being by the sea is just amazing, awesome.
To the scenic south.
It's a magical place. It really is. I look at it every day and I tell myself, you know, do not ever take this for granted. It's beautiful.
And out to the far Wild West.
Enjoy the views. I know I will. Unsurprisingly, Cornwall's coastal villages are some of the most desirable places to live in the country. These fishermen's cottages would have been considered modest at the time, but nowadays they sell for hundreds of thousands of pounds. Of course, when they were built 200 years ago, they were just ordinary little houses. I wonder what those fishermen would make of that now.
Well, there's one man who knows Cornwall's property market inside out. Coming up, we'll meet David Marshall, who's got a bit of a gem coming onto the books.
You can see across St Michael's Mount, so anything on this side of the village tends to sell very well.
And I get to fulfil a childhood dream.
Welcome to St Michael's Mount.
Thank you, darling. I'm so pleased to be here because I've looked at postcards of this all my life.
You're most welcome. Come and meet the real thing.
Earlier in the series, I went to meet Debs, who runs this campsite on the Roseland Peninsula.
Hello.
Hello!
Debbie.
Yes, welcome to Trelawney.
She's fully booked this summer and will be welcoming over 2,000 guests. But somehow, she still finds time to get into the spirit of community life. The local regatta is nearly upon her and she's planning to enter the race. But I've got serious doubts about the poor excuse for a boat that's supposed to pilot her to victory. Let's hope her teammate, Mac, has worked some magic.
Well, I'd like to take all the glory, but I've been working this morning and Mac has been down in the field for 3 days.
It may have looked a little worse for wear when you last saw it. We've had to do a lot of re-rigging of the rigging, or de-rigging of the rigging, so that we could re-rig. De-rigging and re-rigging, we call it in the campsite industry in Cornwall.
Right.
We don't know if it's waterproof yet, so it may sink, but we'll see how we go.
We probably started from the wrong idea, and we followed it through to its logical conclusion, which was making a wrong idea into a big mistake.
Understatement.
Let's do it.
Unlike most regatta races, Debs is entering one that's all about how creative your boat is, rather than how fast. But that doesn't stop her getting competitive, though. It needs testing first, but that's if they can ever get it into the water.
Right, let's start again.
Ooh, I don't even look.
Okay, that's
Right, quickly, tie it on.
Got it? Someone got it?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, Giovanna, there's...
At last, boat and crew make it to the sea.
There it is. There it is. Woo!
But it's just the beginning.
Hold it, slow, go
We're
slow.
just going down to see how it sits in the water. Whoa!
This team are treating their boat like a fragile old lady.
Swing it round if we can and get the...
Oh, look, my sleeve's wet. How's it looking? Will I better get in?
Yeah, just hold it steady.
Oh, well, sorry, I've got my spot now. Can you sit in there?
Yeah, I like the design. Captain Mac gets his own sidecar.
Go on, mate. Go on, get in there. You know you want to.
But as he positions himself...
Oh, look, it's sinking!
Disaster strikes.
There's a hole! Oh, no, there's a big...
Yeah, don't like to say, but I told you so.
Apart from that, it's all right. Look! We've got a couple of holes in the boat, which we didn't realise, which isn't a problem. We know what we're doing, and then Saturday, watch this space.
Oh, we will, Debs. Don't you worry. It's the sense of community that the region's regattas create that draws people to this friendly county. With its array of tiny fishermen's cottages, the village of Mousel is prime territory for newcomers.
Good morning, Sylvia. It's Rosie at Marshall's. How are you?
It makes the job of the team at Marshall's estate agents that little bit easier, knowing that their location sells itself. But sometimes it's doing business with old acquaintances that is top of owner David Marshall's agenda.
I've been in this area now for 27 years, so we get a lot of repeat business. You generally tend to find if you've got a good working relationship with people as you went through the transaction, you will get called in to give them some feedback on how the market's moved over the years they've been there. So there's been a few we've sold 2, 3, 4 times over that period of time.
Today, he's revisiting an old treasure. It's a 1930s 4-bedroomed house, and unlike the fishermen's cottages in the heart of the village that were built to be tucked away from the stormy seas, this house stands proud, in an enviable position.
This house and Mousel itself, anything within the village with a good sea view, there's a good demand for. You can see across the village, St Michael's Mount, the Lizard and Goon Hilly, so anything on this side of the village tends to sell very well.
It's owned by journalist and writer Alex Wade, who spent years getting to know his county from all angles and writing features for Cornwall's lifestyle magazines.
As a kid, I grew up swimming, rowing, windsurfing. The sea was just everything to me for as long as I can remember. Seeing this coastline, which I love so much from the air, it's just magical to have sailed it, to have swum lots of it, to have surfed various of the beaches around here, and now to have flown over it. Just fantastic. It is, I think, the best part of the British Isles. It's absolutely stunning. I'll stay here forever.
Alex is settled here now, which is why he's not moving. He's just thinking of downsizing, which is good news for David.
Hello, David.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Nice to see you again. Lovely. Into the living room, which is...
Okay, David, as you can see, the living room, again, very similar to last time you were here. In fact,
David sold the property to Alex 3 years ago, so it's a familiar valuation.
Memory, yeah.
Yeah.
And the view's the same as well, which is
yeah, spectacular
pretty
view.
good.
But even so, selling houses has its challenges.
There might be a teenager asleep somewhere.
We can soon wake them up.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Harry,
Yeah, there we
I've just got to show David this room.
That's good. Lovely. Okay. Thanks for that.
See you, Harry.
It's the views that are the star attraction for this property. But in this climate, the value is anyone's guess.
Hey, lovely. It's good to see it again. It's looking fairly much how I remember it. There are a couple of people at the moment I know of that are looking for something specifically like this sort of size. Value-wise, obviously I know what you paid for it and I know how long you've been here, and it's a little bit different. But I think it's probably going to be somewhere around the 575-ish mark on value.
Okay, great.
There we go. See you again.
You certainly will. It's a small village, David.
It is a very small village. Yeah,
I'll see you about.
It's a good one. All right. Okay.
Well, that's food for thought for Alex. But I'm sure that owning a fabulous house in such a beautiful area is just priceless. I've been a supporter of the Royal National Lifeboat Institution for years, and I've seen these distinctive boats many times zipping around off the Cornish shores. They provide a vital service to the coastal communities, and the crews are made up entirely of volunteers.
The guys who work here mostly live in Padstow, and apparently they can get from Padstow to a launch here in 11 minutes. I can't get my mascara on in 11 minutes. And they don't just launch for big boats, for tankers, for fishing boats. They'll launch for anybody, a dog that's fallen off the cliff, a sitcom actress in a kayak. It could happen. That is awesome! That's awesome! Aren't they great? That's so sexy, isn't it?
Don't get me wrong, I'd hate to be stranded at sea, but if I were, I wouldn't mind being rescued by this lot. One village I'm hoping won't need the services of a lifeboat today is Portscatho, where regatta weekend is upon the community. Regattas are a huge part of summer in Cornwall. There are 47 taking place from May to September. Going back as far as the 1870s, they're a celebration of maritime heritage, but each one has its own personality. Here, the emphasis is on fun and camaraderie, and entering into this year's raft race are some interesting works of art. For campsite owner Debs, where there's a race and a prize, there's every reason to be involved. It's a big day for Team Trelone, so where are they? As the teams line up on the water, Debs, Mac and their companions are nowhere to be seen. With minutes to go, there's a speck on the horizon.
She floats.
You need a medal for just turning up, Debs. You look worn out before you've even started.
We've named the boat directly.
Excuse me.
So, as the boat says, we're here directly, just in time for the start of the race.
Yeah, I see what you've done there.
As long as they don't take urine samples, I think we're in with a chance.
Fingers crossed.
Well, I, for one, have a sinking feeling about this. It's a stuttering start for Team Trelone. Mind the boat. Come on, put your back into it. I don't believe it. Team Trelone have stormed ahead. Well deserved.
Right, what's next? What's next? Food.
Back at the campsite, there's a chance to revel with the holidaymakers. And as the sun sets, Debs is still glowing with pride after her sensational victory.
It's a magical place. It really is. I look at it every day and I tell myself, you know, do not ever take this for granted. It's beautiful.
In West Cornwall, where the coast is more rugged, one of the county's most iconic sites rises majestically out of the sea. St Michael's Mount was once known as the Grey Rock in the Wood, and when the tide is very low, remnants of tree stumps can be glimpsed. The mount is now cut off from civilization at high tide, accessible only by boat. It's a landmark that's crying out to be explored, with a rich and colourful history. Once a monastery, a fortress and a port, now it's a family home. But it's open to the public and is the second most visited attraction in Cornwall. But aside from the family that occupy this imposing castle, a small community of just 30 people also live and work here. I'm meeting Pete Hamilton, who's one of the lucky few who have that privilege.
Hello, Caroline.
Hello, Peter.
Nice to meet you.
Caroline Quentin, lovely to meet you too.
Welcome to St Michael's Mount.
Thank you, darling. I'm so pleased to be here because I've looked at postcards of this all my life. I've driven past, but I've never actually been here, so I'm thrilled. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Come and meet the real thing.
Darling, what's that?
That's the footstep of Queen Victoria, who visited the island with her husband, Prince Albert.
It's the same size as my hand. She was a little dot, though, wasn't she?
She was a short lady, yes.
12 generations of the St Aubyn family have welcomed royalty here over the years. But today, it's little old me getting the grand tour.
This is the family's private entrance into the castle.
Oh, so this is special.
This isn't the normal visitor room.
Oh, very nice. Thank you very much.
Pete has lived in this area all his life and has worked on the Mount for the past 5 years, regaling tourists with a potted history of the place. He's quite the storyteller.
We call this the Giant's Well. There's a good old story that goes with this. There used to be a giant living on the island. His name was Cornwall. He was a bit of a nuisance. He stealing sheep and children and what have you from the mainland. And as with every good giant story, there was a boy called Jack, an islander, and he'd had enough of it all. So he dug this big hole here and blew his horn, and as the giant came down, he got the sun in his eyes and fell to this pit, and that's where he met his demise.
Is he down there now?
He is. Jack was a wily fellow. He cut out the giant's heart, and as I'm sure you know, giants' hearts are actually very small and made of stone.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, it's a well-known fact.
Makes sense, yeah.
And he put that in the path a little bit further up.
So will I be able to see the giant's heart? Will it be obvious to me?
We'll see.
Okay.
Some people spot it straight away.
Okay.
For others, a little longer.
Is that it?
No, it's definitely more heart-shaped than that. I'll put you out your misery.
Oh, you put that there, didn't you?
Just for you.
That's very adorable.
And the story is that if you put your right foot on the heart,
Yeah.
right hand on your left chest, you can feel the giant's heart beating in your shoulder. And you absolutely can, but funnily enough, only on the way up.
Yeah.
Not on the way down.
At the height of the summer season, over 125,000 people make the journey up this cobbled path, but it's well worth the trek to the top.
Oh, what a view. Oh, Pete. Oh, it's lovely. It's absolutely lovely.
And the flag of St Piran flying there. The white cross on the black symbolises the tin in the granite from the mining times.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's really beautiful. I've never known that.
I don't
very
think there's
beautiful.
a county in England which is quite so patriotic as the Cornish.
No, indeed.
I believe it's probably because we've only got the one natural border with Devon, the strange folk up north.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We are just, you know, we're sort of feel a bit solitary out here. A lot of the
Yeah.
time we think that we should have our own passport and our own national anthem.
But
and-
all my relatives, even though I'm Cornish on my mother's side, they used to call me a foreigner.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it
She's a
breaks your
foreigner.
heart, doesn't
We
it?
bring the foreigner back for Katie. I have to say, though, for all that joking about that, but actually people are very welcoming here.
Yeah, well, it's got to be part of our nature, I suppose. We rely so heavily on things like tourism. I think it's just,
Yeah.
you know, you're welcome to come. Just look after the place.
Yes.
Be
yeah,
nice and
yeah.
you are welcome.
And then go home.
That's right, clear off again. Back up north.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a member of the Sadorbin family to feel affected by this place and to have a sense of belonging. We'll catch up with Pete later in the series as he shows us what an eventful little place this island can be. Earlier, we met journalist and features writer Alex Wade, who called on the services of David Marshall to sell his house. Today, he's sniffing out a new story. It's taken him to the secluded beach of Chapel Porth for the annual World Belly Boarding Championships.
I came here last year and I watched in the pouring rain, and I was quite astonished by the collective of hardy British eccentrics doing this cult event. So this year I thought I'd come and enter it.
The event is organised by the National Trust and welcomes over 300 competitors from around the world, celebrating the original method of surfing using these 4-foot ply boards. Its appeal is broad.
We have an 87-year-old and we have a young lad who's about 8 or 9 years old. That's a pretty impressive age range, you know. It's not indicative of most surf competitions, and I think we might even hold the world record for the largest age range there.
These championships not only feature the old-school style of surfing, they also attract some of the sport's original fans, such as 88-year-old Charmian and 87-year-old Cyril.
OK, see you soon.
Days like this sum up the Cornish summertime, and I sense it's not about the winning here, it's about being part of the festivities. Ooh, go on, Cyril. Crikey, didn't catch me doing that.
It started off as a kind of simple local thing and has now got extended. But it's fun to just participate.
It's just so exhilarating. And when you're swooshing along, it's wonderful. Waves are tremendous.
Cyril and Charmian head off to their house on the hill for a well-deserved rest, just in the nick of time as the heavens open. Not so lucky is the youngest competitor of the championships, 8-year-old Ollie Turrell, who's still awaiting his heat with his mum.
If you've come for the day to do it, you may as well just stay here and just get on with it, whatever the weather. Typically British, I suppose.
Very, very cold. And I haven't even been in the sea yet.
You're going to go in and enjoy it, though, aren't you?
I'll try.
Yes.
It's no wonder Ollie's cold. As a nod to old surfing traditions, one of the rules of the day is that no wetsuits are allowed.
That was awesome! Really awesome!
Nice work, Ollie. Awesome indeed, dude. As the crowds gather for the final formalities, so do Cyril and Charmian, keen to soak up the atmosphere.
I just went in for the sake of going in and the sake of being part of it, and because now everybody expects me to go in every year till I drop.
An inspiring day. As the sun sets in Chapel Porth, Cornwall has done the world of belly boarding proud. And long may it continue.